So the Mr. Beast situation is starting to kind of like tentacle out in a lot of different areas, a lot of different, targets now. And
Oh Lord. And by the way, y'all, this is the quartering. His link is down in the description. Make sure you go give him a little follow. Give him a little subscribe. This is the last one, y'all, about another 10, 15 minutes or so. Crazy as hell.
and not all of them are worth pursuing. And this, I think, is a result of obviously there's a lot of interest in Mr. Beast. I'm actually getting maybe a half dozen email leads a day now from people who are looking into them. I haven't even been soliciting them. Interesting stuff that isn't even out there yet that I have to verify first. But I think Mr. Beast's plan is to just continue to plow right through all of this and pretend none of it exists. To pretend
Little owl,
none of it none of it is happening. And now everyone around him is getting drug for a wide variety of reasons. You start to see some of these articles are coming out now, and they're actually, negative around Mr. Beast, which has been very, very rare. You can see the claims are piling up against Mr. Beast. As the New York Times reported, based on interviews with contestants on the forthcoming game show produced by Donaldson and MGM Amazon Studios, participants in the Beast games claim they were denied basic needs, resulting in illness and in some cases requiring hospitalization.
Yo, this is what I was talking about. Like, it's like a show or something that he was doing for Amazon, I think they were saying.
With 2,000 contestants duking it out in a series of stunts in Las Vegas, in hopes of winning $5 million, would-be participants were asked to sign liability waivers that included everything from being potentially buried alive to thrown overboard. Now, I have something to say about this. This is like signing your...
You have to sign a waiver that they're not liable if you're buried alive or thrown overboard. That is crazy as hell in its own.
Cell phone contract, and then whining and complaining that something is in your cell phone contract that you didn't read. If you're going to sign up for a game show, you know what Mr. Beast is all about, and you signed it. Whining about it later, I don't have a lot of energy for that. There's a lot of these people who, and again, I'm talking about, in this video, we're going to talk about some more important stuff and some of the less important stuff. This I would categorize as less important. Most of these people are like, oh my God, I had to do this, that, or the other. And you were there willingly. Okay. So I'm not going to just clout goblin with every little thing. One thing I did notice yesterday that was very odd was the way that Mr. Beast is handling these claims. In response to a wide variety of claims, including having people on that special list that no one wants to be on working for him, his good friend Chris being a predator accusations, the fake signatures that they were selling, the fake giveaway lotteries that they were being accused of doing. His answer to all of this should tell you a lot, by the way. His answer to all of this is to get woke. Is hiring HR, implementing, quote, sensitivity training. I'm not exactly sure what sensitivity training has to do with hiring people on that registry. What is sensitivity training?
Yeah, that's crazy. Are they saying that you need to be sensitive to people that, he's talking about that list. We're not talking about Santa's list here. We're talking about the list when you do something to somebody that is not of age. You wind up on a damn registry so that people in your neighborhood know which house to avoid on Halloween.
You what?
That one. We're supposed to be sensitive to them? I mean, that's crazy as hell.
Have to do with that, like legitimately. I don't really understand. This just proves to you. Look at this. MrBeast memo confirmed. The memo detailed plans to hire a CFO and general counsel lawyer. The company will also offer anonymous reporting mechanism as well as mandatory training for all employees on, quote, safety, harassment. This is probably, you kind of have to do this at any big company. You probably should have been doing this for a long time.
Yeah, that's the crazy part, is that they're saying that they're doing this. Seems like they're saying they're doing it for the first time, which is nuts.
But then he's also indoctrinating his staff on LGBTQ, diversity sensitive training, and workplace conduct. Diversity training and LGBTQ training. I don't really understand how that stops. And by the way, the funniest part about all of this, and the most hilarious part about all of this, is now he's just going to hire more DEI people, and he's probably going to get more predators. All of this.
Damn.
All this guy had to do. Well, who knows? Because then he would have been disavowing. The funniest part about all this is the reason MrBeast is in this scenario, okay, is because he knew about the woke mob backlash to him calling out an LGBTQ member of his staff. That is why he is where he is. His buddy Chris has cost him $50 million or more.
Ooh.
I'm guessing, right? Millions of dollars in payroll for new lawyers and chief officers and diversity officers. All he had to do was say, holy smokes, I'm just as surprised as you were about what is going on with this dude. I immediately fired him and, changed the locks on the building. That's it. This has nothing to do with him being LGBTQ and everything to do with the claims made against him. End of story.
Yeah, literally. The other part, who cares? It's America. We believe in freedom. You want to do whatever you want to do? Do it. Just don't do it to kids, you sick son of a biscuit-eating frog.
You what?
Allegedly. I guess we have to say allegedly, although some of the stuff I've seen is crazy as hell. I mean, crazy as hell, y'all.
He could have just said that a month ago, right? A month ago, all he had to do was say that. Holy smokes. Yikes, big fire. He's my friend, but this behavior is unacceptable.
No matter who you are.
He's fired. Instead, he's spending millions a year in salary and rolling out LGBTQ diversity sensitivity training. Skibbity DEI incoming. So his answer to just having one of his friends turn out to be a creep who just happened to be trans, okay, is to hire more woke people and bring them into the department. How does this go? How do we think this is going to go? And of course, people are talking about Jake the Viking, who also worked on the show, was fired from the show or quit the show. I'm not sure exactly when he left, but he has been very vocal in saying that Mr. Beast knew about all this kind of stuff and Mr. Beast is bad. And, I've spoken to Jake behind the scenes, and he seems like an honest guy to me, but he's been very, very public in calling out Jake the Viking, who worked on MrBeast. MrBeast also hired someone who went by the nickname of Delaware, who spent time with someone very young. Went to prison for it, I believe, or was charged and took a plea deal.
Oh my God.
That guy is Jake's brother-in-law. Now, I don't think that, jacketing Jake the Viking as some sort of creep just because his brother-in-law did something is anywhere near the same as, Jimmy MrBeast protecting his buddy Chris. I don't think it's the same thing at all. But optically, now Jake is getting dragged because it turns out that, his brother-in-law was a creep and also worked for Mr. Beast, and Jake didn't bother saying anything about that.
Damn.
Then you see Keemstar loving it. This is very, very interesting. Of course, Mr. Beast's ex-girlfriend could not insert herself into the scenario. Years after dating Jimmy, to pop up out of whatever hole she's in to say that he's a bad guy. This I would classify as pointless clout grab, but it's going to get a lot of, information. It's going to get a lot of clout on the internet. His girlfriend basically says, I've spent years being quiet, never acknowledging that time in my life, just quietly cheering on those who I saw mistreated. I don't want drama, but I'm going to put out this professional image and try to get clout off Mr. Beast. But anyway, I don't want anything. I just want to speak up for my 19-year-old self. Well, she's a grown woman now. 19 to 21 are formative years. Really? As a young woman, impacted the way I saw myself, the way I interpreted my future, and how I trusted men. There was no user manual and no instructions on how to deal with gaining and following quickly, no cheat sheet on dating someone famous, so I did the best I could. Months of therapy, so many journal entries, long talks with my mom. Why do I still feel like it was all for nothing? It is all for nothing. People you date when you're 18, 17 years old are pointless. Unless you're me and you marry them.
He said, unless you're me and you marry them.
I believe I should be used as a cautionary tale. If something is too good to be true, it probably should be. How he treats other women will ultimately be how he treats you. If you're smart and beautiful and capable of a career, life, and what? Can I get a like in the chat for the stunning and brave ex-girlfriend of Mr. Beast inserting herself into the drama for stupid clout? A lot of the comments say, if your ex from when you were 18 to 21
he's got no filter, the quartering, y'all,
doesn't have a problem or bad things to say about you, it's almost weird. This is when the most immature, recklessly ambitious, selfish, unself-aware men will ever be. This applies to women too, but men don't make a habit of publicly shaming their exes. Great post by Alex Becker. I'd agree with this. A lot of this stuff, is just like people clout grabbing. But then there's this. This is the nerdy gummies girl, I think. Rosanna Pansino. I think she's the nerdy gummies girl. I've heard rumors from people working close to Mr. Beast that he is hiring PIs to investigate those speaking up against him. Well, I could tell you what, I got a long private road and 3 German Shepherds. If you're a private investigator and you have a problem with the videos I'm making, I don't recommend skulking around my yard. I also don't leash my dogs.
Damn.
Thank you to the people who reached out and warned me and others. I now have confirmation from several people that individuals are indeed being offered money to fabricate stories about me and others. I have identified some of these people already. They began harassing my friends as of last weekend. I'm keeping all of the receipts. Well, maybe you should probably put the receipts out. I don't know who this individual is, but they've also been, their entire timeline is anti-Mr. Beast. So, again, if he's hiring people to go after people who are making videos of him, I think that is a terrible branding decision. Oh, I suppose we'll have to wait and see how this all shakes out. Mr. Beast could have just... all he had to do was say, I fired the creep. He refused to do that, and now he's going down with him. It's quite beautiful to see.